Angela. Disclaimer, this story makes me feel a little crazy. All of the events are true, but are obviously open to interpretation. All were witnessed and unexplained by at least 2 people. Nobody was on drugs either. I've also never been a big paranormal believer. My second and third year of college, I lived in a very old house in a historic, adorable neighborhood. The house had 3 bedrooms and a bathroom upstairs, and a den-turned-bedroom downstairs. My room was upstairs. We also had a detached garage that had been turned into a party room over the generations of college students. Glow-in-the-dark floor paint, couches, beer pong, and pool tables, it was pretty awesome. It was a great 2 years, but some weird shit happened too, and we blamed it all on Angela. The first party we threw in the garage, we had pulled out some colored chalk, and people had been doodling their names and pictures on the old workbench along the back wall of the garage. When we went out to clean up the next day, we found the name Angela scrawled across all the other chalk in caps and with a box around it. There were no strangers at the party, and nobody named Angela attended. Not long after, we had a Friendsgiving at our place with roughly 15 people. I got up to get some water from the tap, turned the tap off, and walked back to the table. Right as I sat down, the water turned back on, full blast. Nobody was in the kitchen when I walked back in to turn it off. Kitchen only had one way in out and was visible from where everyone was sitting. My room was dubbed Antarctica because it was always freezing cold, even when the rest of the house was warm. Figuring it was just old house problems, I bought a space heater. My friend carried it up for me, but the second we plugged it in and powered it on, the smoke detector went off. There was never any smoke, and no heat had been produced yet. It wouldn't turn off until I took the battery out. The same thing happened when I tried to put it back up a week later and turn the heater on. It stayed on my desk without its battery until I moved out. Shortly after the heater incident, I walked into my closet and stepped in a sopping wet puddle. I had a fluffy shag rug down, and it had soaked up quite a bit of water. The ceiling of my closet was literally the roof, so I immediately assumed there was a leak. But it hadn't rained in a few days, and all the boards were bone dry, so I picked up the rug to see if maybe it had come from below. Nope, and no straight water glasses or bottles. A few weeks later, my roommate also found an unexplained puddle in her closet as well. Just a giant puddle on the hardwood with no feasible source. In a way, this one felt the creepiest. We had a pretty good group of people hanging out in our living room, drinking and playing games. One of the guys has his dog along. This dog is super chill, goes everywhere with this guy, just mellow. He's asleep on the floor, then all of a sudden bolts upright, jumps between his owner's legs, stares straight into the far corner of the room, and just growls with the hair on his neck up. The weird part? Our cat spent hours staring at that corner and would sometimes randomly hiss and run away. We always just thought he was being a cat. At the time, I tried to do some research to see if anyone who had lived there had died in some tragic way or something.